Good morning, NielsenFloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning my guest is Tanya Jones, the Director of Sales with Bonitz. Tanya, how you doing?
I am doing great, Ken.
I want to talk to you about how your role has changed during the pandemic at Bonitz. But before we get to that, let's run through your background. Bonitz, most people know, a top 5 commercial flooring contractor, a member of StarNet, based in Charlotte, North Carolina. And your background, you went to school in Kentucky, studied interior design, and then for a little while, you were on the end user side, a facilities design director for Medical College of Georgia. And then you spent 17 years at Bentley Mills. Then you've been at Bonitz for almost 5 years, right?
That is correct.
The interesting thing about talking to you is you've worked for a manufacturer, you've worked as an end user, got an interior design background, and you've worked with a commercial contractor. So probably one of the most rounded perspectives that you can get.
Yes, and in fact, just listening to you, you just dated me and how long I've been in this business. Part of one of the reasons why I joined the Bonitz team on the service side was to round out that experience in my portfolio. I knew coming into this role would bring a tremendous amount of perspective and also continue to be a growth platform. There are things that I have learned about this position that I couldn't have anticipated. So it's been a lot of fun as the industry changes.
Well, let's talk about Bonitz just overall for a second. Tell us how's business.
Well, business could be better. We have been experiencing a little bit of a slowdown. We knew that was coming based on what hit us. There were a lot of projects early in the year where the brakes were pumped on them, primarily because the end users and contractors and design firms alike all had to figure out how to adjust in an environment with a lot of uncertainty. So everything kind of came to a complete halt. But having said that, we were still working through a pipeline, so we were still very busy. And being an essential business, we've been here since day one, adjusting through all the protocol as well.
So tell us how the pandemic has altered what your role is there.
You know, I'm on the front end driving top-line sales. I'm also actively working equally inside the business, actively working through my relationships and working on projects and developing and coaching and reinforcing a common language throughout our sales force, developing opportunities to grow our business. So that hasn't stopped. Now that we know more about what we're dealing with in this environment, we are looking at creative ways to connect with our customers. But on the service side of the business, safety has always been on the forefront of our minds, and it's safety first in any environment, but it becomes especially important now. So as we connect with our customers, we temper what is the best place to meet, how many people in the room, so we can still accomplish business. So we're doing that. It's just at a little bit slower pace, not like with the wind in our hair like it was when we first started at the beginning of the year.
Well, as most people know, when you talk about commercial flooring contractors, they have a lot of different folks they can aim toward to try to solicit business. And you've got your end user or facility manager, you've got your specifier, A&D person, you've got your general contractor, all of which play a role. So I got the feeling when you left Bentley and came over to Bonitz that you were really going to try to enhance what Bonitz was doing as far as the impact you made with A&D. And now A&D is staying at home, not allowing people to come see them. So I got to imagine that things have kind of evolved over time, haven't they?
They sure have. I certainly brought that perspective coming inside this business and able to quid pro quo certain situational scenarios and to kind of troubleshoot through that. But at the end of the day, you have to touch more than one person when pursuing an opportunity. One thing we've always done pretty well and need to continue to do more is touch all those four corners you just mentioned. So it is vitally important that we are in an environment where we're developing relationships outside of just the standard open market pricing, which is inevitably part of our business. We're always going to have to go through that process, but you cannot underestimate the power of the relationship with the design firm, with the general contractor, and certainly with the end user. So we try to keep the conversation going beyond the project and stay involved. And with our variety of services that we offer, we were able to do that. We're very diversified in that way.
How are you engaging with A&D since they're not really coming to an office?
Well, a lot of electronic and also on the phone. We have been doing porch drops for samples at their homes initially when things were a lot more restricted. But now that we know a little bit more about what we're dealing with and we can be a little safer, we've become more important than ever to our customers. We have a very large office where The customer can actually have a planned appointment. There's protocol coming into the facility. We can meet with them, and they have access to virtually everything in every division in the built environment. They have access to it right here in our office, so it makes it extremely convenient. We've always had that. It's just that we've become that much more important to them.
Now, I understand you had a big event last week. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. We took the opportunity to have a product show here in the state of South Carolina. We had a 3-day event. We were well supported with our vendors. They were eager to get involved. We had over 30 vendors sign up. It was outside. We're lucky that we have a large parking lot facility where they brought their own tailgate tents. We had some food provided. We had live music. It was all done in a safe fashion. Masks were provided if anyone forgot theirs. Our customers were able to connect with vendors they hadn't seen in a very long time. So it was spread out over half day, from 12 to 6. So it was a long day.
So the supply base came. Who came from the other side of the table?
We had architects, designers. We invited our general contractor customers and even our end-use customers.
Okay.
Many of our sales teams helped promote that within their own customer base, some of which were working on projects where they had an opportunity to actually take them to a vendor table and discuss a product they were considering for a project. So it was a real success. Even the customers that came were provided a raffle ticket, too. So if you attended at least 10 of the tables, you were entered into a drawing for a really nice prize. We're planning on building on this so that we can make it an annual event, because we don't necessarily know what the future holds with being able to get products inside of these firms on a routine basis. So we're trying to get creative and think out of the box.
So the nature of this business, the specified side, it's long range, and you normally book things this year that you'd put in next year. So it's just going to kind of be wait and see to see kind of what we can see in 21 from a commercial contracting business, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's probably still some unknowns, but at the end of the day, we're coming across opportunities every day that we're interacting. We're not taking for granted any opportunity as we talk to our existing customers and prospecting. In the South, I feel, as I network with my real estate friends, there are some very encouraging metrics out there that are expecting more positive than what the media communicates. So I'm always optimistic. I'm a glass half full person anyway, and I have lived through some economic disruptions in my career and have always come out on the other side. I just think you have to get up every day and be very intentional about what you do.
Okay, Tanya. Well, I appreciate you giving us an update on what's been going on with Bonitz. Again, a top 5 commercial flooring contractor based in the Carolinas. So we've been talking to Tanya Jones, the Director of Sales at Bonitz, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.